What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today, in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out Crying Suns, a strategy game where you'll fly a battleship, beautifully animated all throughout the galaxy, while at the same time attempting not to die, exploring, finding anomalies, things of that nature. So, let's check out the introductory cutscene. Where am I? A dwarf planet on the outer rim. Most call it Gehenna, if they call it anything at all. This Admiral is a top-secret cloning facility for the Imperial forces, the one and only of its kind. I'm Caliban, its Omni-Guardian. I don't understand. You have died, Admiral. Or, to put it another way, the true version of you has died. You are his clone. Identical to the original Ellis, Idaho in every possible way, with some minor differences. When did the Admiral die? How? Unfortunately, I don't know the details of my clones' lives, as interesting as they may be. Extraneous to my directives, I believe. Which leads me to why I've awoken you. You must be curious, after all. I need your help. A machine asking for my help? Now I do feel strange. Not just a machine, Admiral. An Omni. Short for Omni-Mechanical Neon Intelligence. Emperor Oberon invented us. Now your kind relies on us for just about everything. I'll come right out with it. I believe the Empire is in danger. In danger? What in the name of Oberon are you even talking about? Once every 4 years, under the most secretive of protocols, I receive a single transmission from Elysium, our capital. Those transmissions stopped arriving. So you send a transmission yourself. I don't see the problem here. That's just it. I can't. This facility was built in such a way to prevent it from initializing contact with the Empire in order to keep it a secret. Something is wrong. I am certain of it. And I've awoken you so that we can fly out of here in an Omega-class battleship and see for ourselves. We? I believe you'll find my intelligence indispensable for our mission, Admiral. I don't have your kind's limitations. If you're so smart, what do you need me for? Why don't you command the battleship? Because of Oberon's Rubicon. It prevents Omnis from commanding battleships. War is a human prerogative. Also, since I can assume the clones here are the best of the best, that would make you the best Imperial Admiral to ever exist. I'd say you're perfect for the job. I'll do it, machine. For Oberon and the Empire. It's my duty as an Imperial Admiral. Excellent. Now just one more thing. Standard operating procedure requires that I ask. Can you recall any of your emotional memories? Emotional memories? Any memory linked to a strong emotion like love, hate. These memories, because of their complex neural pathways, will be a bit trickier for you to access, I'm afraid. I'm not sure. Then if you would do me the honor of trying to recall one, any emotional memory will do. I can't. It's so blurred and it's broken apart. Don't worry, Admiral. Perfectly normal for this stage. You'll find rational memories, on the other hand, those linked to Idaho's training and combat experience, almost immediately accessible. Just ask if you need a refresher. Lastly, and this is very, very important, if these emotional memories return, rather when they return, you need to tell me immediately. It's important for your safety. Yes, your safety. Do you understand? I understand. Perfect. Now, let's wake up the rest of the crew, shall we? We don't have a moment to waste, and please, Admiral. What is it now, machine? Call me Caliban. I've got a feeling that when we have emotional memories, I bet this guy was starting to rebel against the Emperor or something like that, but he was like the best general they ever had. And so they killed him, and they made clones of him, and they bleached his memory, but if that ever comes back, they're supposed to kill him again so they can wake up another one. That's my guess. If I had to wager an estimate, just from how, like, this place seems kind of grimdark, like, this is not a happy facility. This is an unhappy facility. It makes me think that, like, maybe there's a little bit of grimdark in this universe, possibly. Just my thought. All right. Well, let's customize our crew and our battleship and carry on. Wait, what killed us? I'm uncertain, Admiral, but it had an easy time doing it. Okay. So we have the Excelsior-class battleship. We've got squadron docks right now. We've got a squadron system support. We've got squadron dock recovery. We've got weapon systems. We've got weapon system expert or support, so we can put an expert inside of there, an officer. We've got our hull structures. These can be unlocked, I think, as we like get more XP for making it further into the game, I think. Let's go ahead and we're going to pick our officers. We have 5 officers available right now. We have Andre Ma. His skills are piloting and fighting. He's got lethal firing, which applies to gunnery stations. We have Anastasia Anjan Lakoko, who is a soldier. She's got critical repair, which applies to our hulls, it applies to our squadrons, it applies to our weapons. She's good at piloting, and she's also good at demolitions. We've got Yuval Sato, who is versatile. He gets 1 extra skill, but he has 2 less HP if he's wounded. He's good at persuasion, he's good at discretion, and he's good at hacking. We have Yunseo Mills, who has advanced reload, which allows us to reload our weapons faster. She's good at erudition, and she's good at engineering. We're going to take her. We've got Lasady Akintola. Deals 2 DPS to enemies adjacent to your battleship system cells. So she'll give us proximity defense. She's good at persuasion, and she's good at discretion. I think we should take a soldier. So what I'm going to do is I think we should take... We already have a weapons officer, though. Let's take her. That sounds good. Let's do it. Alright, so we really don't have anything to do right now except to go to Kelberin. So let's go to Kelberin, shall we? Okay, so this is a neon hypercube over here. We can scavenge this for a little bit of fuel if we need to. So we got 1 neon fuel. Now, the first time you play the game, there's going to be a tutorial that explains all this. Unfortunately, because I played the tutorial, it doesn't come up now when I'm playing through the game on concurrent things. So I'm going to have to kind of like explain the game to you in a really ham-fisted, terrible way. We do need to put an officer in charge of our squadrons. My suggestion would be that we should put her in charge right there, and then our weapons officer should be the one that gives us a reload buff. We don't have any fights going on right now, so let's go back to the local system map, which is right here. We're in this little center ring. We're going to want to go to... Well, apparently I can't go to that ring right there, so I guess we'll go to the next one, Aquarius Omega, which is a station. An Imperial outpost, sir. It seems as though it's abandoned. Any heat signatures? Not a single one. It seems empty of all human life. What about an omnipresence? They should be there managing the station, yes? They should, and no. I'm not detecting them. This is getting stranger and stranger. Do you know anything about this outpost, Caliban? Seems to be just your run-of-the-mill Imperial outpost, Admiral. There are outposts in all Imperial sectors. With the capital Elysium so far away, they help keep the peace and maintain order. You must show your military might so that you don't have to use it, I believe is the thinking. But there's definitely no military might here. What do you want to do about the outpost, Admiral? Let's make contact with it. Lieutenant, see if you can make contact with someone, human or not. Of course, Admiral. Sorry, sir. If there's anyone inside, they are not answering. What do you want to do about the outpost, Admiral? Send a team of commandos on board. Captain, form a small team. Go on board and check it out. You've got it, sir. Sir, the outpost is empty. It seems it was abandoned years ago. If I had to guess, probably around the time that the hypercube back there was disconnected from the fold net. Looks like someone came here, took most of the valuable Omni parts, neon encapsulators, positronic chips. Looks like they left the rest behind. Scavenging Omni parts. Now, who would do that? That's a capital offense. One of the Prague Ma will execute you for that. Hold on, sir. I'm getting a transmission. My commandos have found something, an Omni, intact from top to bottom. Is it functional? That's a negative, sir. It was in a lower level. Guess whoever was here before didn't go down that far. Might have needed high clearance in order to get in. Admiral, I can examine it from here if the captain plugs the datapad into the exosoc. Sure thing, Omni. Alright, accessing the Omni's mainframe. And? Strange. Its exoframe is perfectly intact. It has plenty of neon and its positronic chip seems to be in place. It should be up and running. I don't get it. Any idea when it shut down? According to the chip, 20 years ago. Roughly the time the hypercube was unlinked from the foldnet. What do you want to do about this outpost, Admiral? Explanations? I have some questions, Machine. What do you want to know? Can you reactivate the Omni? Unfortunately, no. Only Omni owners can do that. Besides, this Omni just isn't in sleep mode. It's been shut down. What do you want to know? What about the positronics? Actually, your kind invented this, as incredible as that is, specifically Emperor Oberon. The positronic chip serves several purposes. One, it contains the Rubicon, and two, it dictates Omni functionality. My functions are specific to Gehenna, and as such are different from the functions of other Omnis. Whether they be Imperial, Outpost Omnis like the one here, Folder Omnis, Cube Omnis, Medical Omnis, Teacher Omnis, or the hundreds of other types of Omnis that exist in the Empire. Lastly, the positronic chip gives Omnis quantum computing capabilities. It's what allows us to be so much smarter than you. Positronic chips are produced and distributed near Elysium. Of course, that's by design so that Oberon can closely monitor the positronic quota. Simply put, without a positronic chip, an Omni is little more than its exoframe. What do you want to know? Well, what is Rubicon? The Rubicon is a set of rules enforced at a very low level, ensuring that Omnis don't harm humans and don't deviate from their missions. Suppose an Omni disobeyed its Rubicon, what would happen? Well, that's quite rare, but unfortunately there are examples of that occurring in the early days, but if that happens, then the chip would be deactivated to trigger a self-termination feature in the Omni. So Omni suicide. It's just a feature, Admiral, a rarely activated feature. Okay. Well, that's all I really wanted to know. Let's go ahead and continue on. Okay, Machine, I'll admit it, something's wrong, at least in the Outer Rim. I don't want to further worry you, but our battleship's heuristics are detecting an anomaly at our further destination. Okay, well, let's go check it out then. It's one of those creatures again, sir. Maybe this one will be friendly? Nice ship you've got there. I'm going to enjoy scrapping it over your dead bodies. You're going down, whatever you are. So this is the battle interface for the game. And basically the way that this works is you can actively pause and unpause the game. And we've got weapons, we'll bombard them. And also we can take some of these ships right here and we can deploy them. I'm going to unpause for right now while we wait for the weapons to heat up. So weapons are online and they're heating. They've deployed what look like fighters. So we want to deploy whatever goes up against them. So, what kills fighters? So you guys go out and meet them in the middle for right now. So they're actually fighting right now. You can see their little health bars. They're skirmishing with one another. I don't have an empty dock. So what I'd like for you to do, actually, we killed off their fighters. So let's move over to here, and we're going to target their squadrons. We fired 15 damage. You can see their HP up here in the top right corner. And then when our fighters are adjacent, they'll start actually firing on that ship and destroying it so that we don't have to worry about it any longer. I think we're in good shape right now, and the enemy's been destroyed. Our rewards were a Fighter Mark 1. Very nice. We'll add that to our hangar. Though we had yet another brush with death, at least our scanner detected the anomaly this time. Tell me more about these anomalies, machine. Anomalies are destinations with higher than normal probability being very negative or very positive. Unfortunately, we don't know what kind of outcome to expect until we arrive at the source's signal. You could say investigating anomalous signals is a bit of a gamble. Good to know. Come on, there's got to be someone around here who can tell us what's going on. So if we wanted to get rid of the ship that we've got in our hangar right now, we actually just right-click on it, and that'll undeploy it so they can swap in other types. Every single fighter has something it's strong against and something it's weak against, and so you're going to want to play that rock, paper, scissors game of outmaneuvering your enemy on the grid in real time in order to eliminate their ships and leave their major battle cruiser undefended so that you can finish it off. Well, let's go ahead and investigate this next anomaly. I can't go to any of these locations, unfortunately, as much as I would like to. Yeah, a bit of a downer there. Let's go ahead and set out and see what happens. There would appear to be a small colony on this planet, Admiral. Maybe we can finally get some answers. I'm also detecting a ground signal roughly 1,000 kilometers from the colony. It could be worth investigating with an expedition. Hello? Is anybody there? This is Admiral Ellis Idaho of the Imperial Fleet. I am Tygan Bowie, leader of my small colony. What can we do for you, Admiral? If it's scrap you're looking for, I'm sorry, but we have none to spare. Scrap, we're here to find out what's going on in these sectors. I don't understand. We've yet to encounter a single active Omni, and 2 enemy battleships have engaged us. Is this some sort of sick joke, Admiral? The Omni shut down. Impossible. The Omni shut down in our sectors, and when they did, so did all of their tech. It can't run without it. When? I have no idea how it happened. I'm not even sure even Oberon does. It's truly the great mystery of our time, and as for when, 20 years ago. We relied on them for everything, food, medicine, weather. It's hard to give accurate numbers, but maybe 75% of the population here died in the first 5 years alone. Now who knows how many of us are left? 10%? Less? You mentioned something called scrap. Can you tell me more about this? Well, now that the Omnis have been inactive for so long, Imperial sold, the former currency no longer holds any value of any sort. The only thing that does is scrap, remnants of Omnitech. Its metals, ship materials, and neon are energy source. As Omnitech becomes scarcer and scarcer, which it has over the last 20 years, its value has appreciated, causing people to act in increasingly desperate and violent ways in order to get it. That's why scrappers want to destroy your ship so much. It's so they can collect its broken down parts and sell them, just so they can prolong their miserable lives. But it's not just the scrappers and the pirates who desire this stuff, it's just that most of us common folk aren't willing to kill for it. At least not yet. Is there something else you know, Admiral? Alright, so how can I help you? What can the NS Odysseus do to help? Defeating the scrappers would be a nice start, sir. Things would look a lot better with those scum out of the way. The scrappers. Don't tell me you don't know about them either. It's like you've been living this entire time on an uninhabited planet on the edge of the Outer Rim. The Scrappers are a group of hideous cancerous scavengers who collect the leftover Omnitech and neon. When the Omni shut down, causing the fold net to collapse in our sectors, they were the one that took over in the chaos. They're not only rotten apples, or they're not the only rotten apples around here with your pirates and occasional crazy civilian. They're definitely the worst. So they defeated Imperial ships. How? Telos Tech is second to none. Imperial captains are trained at the Academy. True, but the scrapper battleships wore them down. Picked one off here, another there. It was a war of attrition. Plus, the Empire couldn't send reinforcements, not with the folder down, so I hate to say it, but I think it's just a matter of time before they make slaves of us all. But even if you beat them, if you beat the mother, it won't change anything. The way they're going, after 10, 15 years from now, with all the hardships we're experiencing, we'll be gone, all of us, unless what? You somehow reactivate the Omnis and turn them back on again, the ones that haven't been scavenged for their parts, that is. That's the only way to save us. Is there something else that you wanted to know, Admiral? How can we turn the Omnis back on? You're asking the wrong guy, I'm afraid. As I said, nobody knows who or what shut them down. You'll have to solve the mystery on your own. And once you do, you'll still have to find a way to turn them back on, which might be another thing altogether. But where should we start? I hate to say it, but Mother's probably the best bet. I mean, she benefited the most from them shutting down in the cluster, didn't she? Then again, there are a lot of theories out there about who or what is responsible for this. Okay, who is Mother? We really don't know, Admiral. For some reason, that's what they call her, the leader. Mom, Mommy, it's all very upsetting. From what I gathered, she was the one who started the Scrappers, fostering a punk nihilistic scavenging philosophy among their sordid ranks. And who makes up the ranks? Former Imperial prisoners, I think. The worst of the worst. When the Omni shut down, the prisoners escaped from their Omni-run prisons and psychiatric stations. Mother loves tech, especially House Telos tech like the Battleship you've got, and she and the Boyles who work for her will kill you for it and enjoy doing it. She's been terrorizing the sectors for years now, enslaving men and women to bolster her numbers and make them into her playthings and baby makers. Okay. I didn't need to know more about this. I don't blame you. It's not exactly for the faint of heart. Is there something else you want to know? Alright. Well, let's end the conversation and see if we can get out there. I promise, the name of Oberon will take care of these scrappers and get your Omnis back up and running again. You say that, Admiral, but you'll fail or you'll stop trying sooner or later, or worse yet, you'll die. But take this neon, Admiral. We have plenty at the moment. I have a feeling you're going to need it. And like I said, I know it's not the bravest thing to do, but it's the best thing for you to hide. You'll live longer that way. Well, there's 4 neon. We can at least jump around. That's the end of the transmission, sir. Do you believe what he said? Unfortunately, yes. It explains everything that we've seen so far. The Omni shut down in the Outer Rim, and so did their tech, including the cluster's folder. That's why those scrappers now run things around here. So what do we do now, sir? Well, first thing we need to do is find this mother. As Bowie said, if she didn't shut the Omnis down, chances are she knows who or what did. If you want to move on, Admiral, open the star map below by clicking on it and choose our next system. Otherwise, you might want to stay and check out the ground signal I was telling you about. Could be a good opportunity to gather some resources and put your commandos to use. Alright, now that you've learned the basics, your second dock has been acquired. Remember to make good use of it while commanding the squadron. The numerical advantage is often a turning point in battle. Sounds good to me. You can access the expedition dashboard here. Okay. Well, we're not going to do a mission right now because I think with where we're at, we're basically out of time in this episode. My name is Splattercat. This game is called Crying Suns, and the embargo just dropped for this video. If you guys enjoyed what you saw here, because let's be honest, the representation for this game, the presentation, is second to none. I'm really, really liking it, so I think we're going to play a little bit more. All you got to do is check out the description down below. That's where you're going to find the game listed for your perusal so that you can buy it for yourself. If you don't know who I am and what I do here on the internet, my name is Splattercat. For the last 7 years, I've sifted through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie gaming so that you don't have to, and you can save your hard-earned ducats and only see the good games that are coming out. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like on it. It helps me out to know who's engaged with what series and what I should make more episodes of. I'll see y'all next time. Thank you for stopping on in. I'll have something hot and fresh for you tomorrow. Take care, and how you do, everybody.